Video focuses on matrix multiplication. Of the operations we've learned so far, this one is by far the harder of adding, subtracting, or scalar multiplication. You have to be very careful with these, and I want you to write down what we have in this piece right here, and then I'll explain it. So go ahead and pause and write this down. So in order for two matrices to multiply together, you have to pay particular attention to their dimensions. In order for you to multiply two matrices together, so we have matrix A and matrix B, and these are their dimensions, m times n. So m and n are just some numbers, and n and p are some numbers. In order for you to do this, these two numbers right here must be the same. They must be equal. If that's the case, you can go ahead and multiply these two matrices together. And what you get for a result is an m times p matrix. And that's what that's saying right here. So just go ahead and pause, take that in. Now let's head down to this set of two examples. We want to just identify, can we multiply these two matrices together? So we have a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 4. So those are my two matrices. So we're going to look into these two numbers right here. Are those two numbers the same? Yes, they are. So the result, after we multiply these two matrices together, will be a 2 by 4 matrix. So we're going to say yes to this problem. We can identify that these two matrices can be multiplied together, because the 3 and the 3 are the same, so our outers, I call them, our result will be a 2 by 4. All right, so now let's go to the second example. Our first matrix is a 3 by 2, and our second matrix is a 3 by 4. So let's go inside to these two numbers. Are those two numbers the same? 2 and 3. They're not equal. So that means it's not possible for you to multiply these two matrices together. All right, let's just do maybe two more. I would like you to try number 2 and number 3 and see if you can come up with the same answer as I get. Okay, hopefully you pause and tried those. So in this example, we have a 2 by 4 and a 4 by 3. We look at the inner, those two numbers are the same, so the outer two numbers are going to be your result. So you're going to have a 2 by 3 matrix when you're done. Yes. Now let's head over to example 3 here. We have a 4 by 2 and a 3 by 5. We go to the inside two numbers, 2 and 3. They are not the same. They're not equal. So what that means then is we cannot multiply these two matrices together. So we are done. We just say they are not possible. All right, so in order for us to do matrix multiplication, we have some more properties to learn. Here are your properties. We have the associative property, the distributive, and the associative for scalar. So let's go ahead and write those down. Okay. What I want to do is focus on an easier problem first, and then we'll go back and do a harder one. So what we have here is a 2 by 2 matrix and a 2 by 2 matrix. So that means these two numbers are equal. So our result is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix when we're done. Now, you're going to maybe want to pause and write and listen to this example. It's a little bit challenging. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a matrix. I'm going to make it kind of big so I can show my work here. How you do this is you multiply row times column. Row times column. So I'm going to take this first row and multiply it by this first column, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to take first element and first element, 1 times 2. And I'm going to add it to 0 times 1. I'm going to come down here and write one more big matrix, and I'm going to simplify this right here. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 0 times 1 is, so I'll just write it down here, 2 plus 0 equals 2. So there is my first element. Now I'm just going to head back and erase this so we're not making a mess. So now to find this piece right here, I'm going to take the same first row, but now I'm going to the second column. All right, so maybe you want to pause and just watch first. So I'm going to take first element and multiply them together. So 1 times 0 plus the second element, 0 times 3. So I get 1 times 0 is 0, plus 0 times 3 is 0, so we get 0. So that element in my result is going to be a 0. All right? So I've just finished my first two elements. Now I'm going down to the second row, to the first column. And I'm going to multiply the first element and the first element. So negative 2 times 2 plus second element, multiply them together. Negative 1 times 1. No, negative 2 times positive 2 is 4. Negative 1 plus 1 is negative 1. And we get negative 5. So the result down here is negative 5. All right, we're almost done. So now let's head to our last row and last column. So second row, second column. We're going to multiply first element. So negative 2 times 0 plus second element. Negative 1 times 3. When we simplify this, we get negative 3. So what our matrix looks like when we're all done is, this is my answer, a 2 by 2 matrix with 2, 0, negative 5, negative 3. All right, let's head to this example. This won't take as long. So let's check our dimensions first. So we have one row times 2 columns. And then on this one, we have 2 rows times 1 column. So we go inside first, see that they're the same. Yep, they are. So we go to the outside. So our matrix is going to be a 1 by 1. So 1 row, 1 column. So what does that mean? 1 element. So we're going to do row 1, column 1, and multiply them together. So 4 times negative 2, 4 times negative 2 plus second element and second element, 4 times negative 3. Now I'll just simplify that. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. We combine these together, we get negative 20. So our matrix is just going to be negative 20. 1 element, because it's a 1 by 1 matrix. All right, last one here. We'll just set it up. So this is a 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, so 3 rows by 2 columns. And now this is a 2 row by 2 columns. So this one works. The reason why it works is you have the insides are 2, and the outsides then will be your result is a 3 by 2. So go ahead and pause and see if you can try doing this one on your own. All right, so we're going to go ahead and to find the first element, we're going to take these two and multiply them together. So let's check and see how we did. So first row, first column, -3, +1. -3 times +1 plus 3 times -2. We get -3 plus -6 is -9. I'm just going to erase that now. I get -9. All right. Come over to here. We've just completed first row and first column. So we're going to continue with that first row. Now we head over to the second column. We do the first element and the first element. So -3 times 0 plus 3 times -1, so the second elements. And we get -3. I'm just going to go ahead and erase that now. Now I get -3 there. All right, so I've completed the first row with the first column and second column. Now let's head down to the second row. First column, 3 times 1 plus -2 times -2. 3 and +4 gives us 7. So that next element is going to be a 7. Again, you're checking your answers with mine. All right, still in that second column, or second row, now we're going to second column. So 3 times 0 plus -2 times -1. 0 plus 2 is 2. So that next element is a 2. All right, we have one row left. Last row, first column. First element and first element is 0 times 1 plus second element, -1 times -2. 0 plus 2 is 2. So our answer there should be a 2. All right. Last row, second column. First element is a 0 times a 0. Next one is a -1 times a -1. So our answer is a 1. So our matrix, what you got to what I get should be the same.